All right, so let's talk about a MadLib, which is your first major project. Um, okay, so basically, a MadLib is uh, a story, a rhyme, a poem, music lyrics, but instead of having everything already spelled out, there are words that need to be replaced by someone who doesn't know what the rhyme or poem or story or song is. So what you do is you ask another person, um, give me a type of person, give me a place, give me an adjective, and it's best if you end up asking them in a bunch of different, asking them in a different order, so that they don't know what you're kind of doing with it. Give me a struck word, give me a noun, give me, some plural animals. Okay, and then what you do is you're really just rewriting this and filling it in. There once was a man from Nantucket, or whatever they said, who had a rather large group of ducks. Okay, one day as he was galloping. So whatever they said, and the result is usually a really funny story, because the person who's giving you all these words to put in doesn't know how it's going to fit in the story. So his ducks, he got smashed by a worm. No, so it's just something that's kind of silly. But what we can do with this is that we can end up building a lot from filling in and reusing these variables that we've just learned about. So we're going from that to this, and you're going to kind of do it in three phases, okay? Because what we're not going to do is we're not going to get all the words for one sentence and then print out that sentence, and then get all the words for the second sentence, print out that sentence, because that's not a very good story. You should have it all at once. So phase one of your program is to declare all the variables. Declare all of the variables that you are going to use. Okay. Phase two is to ask for input from the user to initialize all of the previously declared variables. Okay. Phase three is to print the entire story without having it run off the page. So you should not have to scroll right or left to look at the story. Okay, so you're going to have to worry about format. Here you're going to have to plan your variables, what you're going to use. Make sure that you're descriptive enough in your names so that you easily know where they need to go back in your code. And then you need to initialize them. You need to initialize them based off what they say. So you would ask a question like, give me the name of a place, and then they would give you it. You don't have to be so specific on what type of thing you're going for. I could just say, give me a word that ends in ing, and I could probably get something that is would probably fit for movement. Or I could be a little bit more specific and I could say, well, give me a moving word that ends in ing. Okay, I don't have to say, give me a gerund phrase or give me an adjective. I could say, give me a describing word. Okay, in my question for phase 2, and then store that as a variable that I already declared in phase 1. Okay, so in your code, the parameters that you have to do for the phases, I want you to use commenting. So this is a single comment. This is a block comment, which we're not really going to use yet. And then block comment, and you end it with this. Okay, so I want you to use single comments and say phase 1. Do all of phase 1, okay? All of phase 1. Then I want you to do your code for phase 2 and have all of your code for phase 2. Then I want you to do phase 3 and you're printing the story, okay? Phase 3. Okay, and I want you to pay particular attention to the wording of it. So if they are giving some words that don't match so well, see if you can tweak the question so that it fits better. Okay, so you're doing all of the variables first, you're declaring them, then you're initializing them in phase 2, and then you're printing all of the story in phase 3. Other parameters. How many variables do you need to declare in phase 1 and use in phase 2 and phase 3? So phase 2, you would have to initialize all of them. 20 variables. Okay? And that is new variables. That means you are not counting ones that are being reused. I am literally going to count them. Okay? So make sure that you have 20 variables that are descriptively named. That is another grading criteria that I'm looking for. You need to have them descriptively named, okay? Properly. So that means you're not capitalizing the first letter of the first word, only capitalizing the first letter of every subsequent word and using them correctly. Okay, so this is a pretty fun project. What I would do if you're stuck on ideas is to do some internet searches, get some ideas for MadLibs that are there. There are tons. You could do a story. You could do music lyrics. I had some people who did rap. I'm pretty much open to anything for this project. Just keep it somewhat appropriate, okay? I mean, you can't control what the user's putting in, but the words that you are having need to be appropriate in nature. Okay, all right, have fun. This is a really fun project. And it's really funny when we start reading them out. Some of them are pretty hilarious, okay?